अवध के जायकों में तहजीब घुली हुई है, हर लुकमा जैसे सदियों की रिवायत बोल दे। कबाब, कोरमा, निहारी, खुशबुओं का सिलसिला लखनऊ आज भी जायके में शायरी रखता है। जायका सिर्फ जबान तक महदूद कब रहा, कुछ खाने दिल पर भी असर छोड़ जाते हैं। हर मसाला भी यहाँ आदाब जानता है। अवध के खानों में तहजीब पकी है। Very rarely do you come across a moment when even the finest Urdu poetry fails to capture the beauty or true essence of something. Especially if something is written in Urdu and carries a touch of Awadhi in it. It is almost destined to encapsulate its real flavor. But if there's one thing whose flavors cannot fully fit into even the most exquisite Awadhi couplet, it is Awadhi food. Food that is emotion, that is history, that is tradition. Food that carries stories of dynasties, of the making and unmaking of empires, of the rise and fall of the mighty. Food that was born in the kitchens of the elite but found its way to the plates of the masses. Food that has never recognized religion or boundaries. Food that has survived the ravages of time. From the melted mouth kebabs to the velvety softness of malai makhan, from the queen of all biryanis to thaggu ke laddus, from the kachoris, jalebis, long lata to the Ramnagar ke bangan and the slow cooked nihari. When chronicling the history of Awadh, food is that one thread you simply cannot afford to miss or misrepresent. Because every corner of the Awadhi plate carries a story of its own. But what the BJP government has done is drain all the color from that plate and saffronize it. The same thing has happened to the kebabs of Awadh that happened to the voters of Bengal. Alive in reality, but erased from official memory. Let me explain how in the next few minutes. The Yogi government has come out with a list of foods claiming to celebrate the remarkably rich cuisine of UP. It's called One District, One Cuisine. A list of 208 dishes, one from each district, meant to celebrate local delicacies. And there is one unmistakable thread running through the entire list. Strictly Sattvic, no meat. Let me give you a few examples. For Lucknow, the government chose revdi, malai makhan, chaat and mango produce. Fair enough, but anyone who appreciates food, even if they themselves are vegetarian, would deeply and instantly feel the absence of the galoti kebabs. A royal delicacy served with unmatched finesse in the old city. Kebabs that still carry the tehrav of Begum Akhtar's thumris through the bustling, fragrant lanes of Chowk. The government has extended the same treatment to the slow-cooked handi mutton of Azamgarh. Even for Moradabad, it didn't think the Moradabadi biryani was sumptuous enough to feature on the list. No boti kebabs, no shami kebabs, no kormas, no pulaus, nothing that truly defines UP's shared culinary inheritance appears on the list. And while the government didn't find these dishes worthy enough to include, things like edible oil products, spices, pickles and chop have been listed as delicacies. This is a grave disservice to the history of Awadh, a disservice to the royal cooks, the rakabdars of the aristocratic kitchens of Awadh, who prepared the finely minced melt-in-mouth galawat kebab for an aging Nawab who had lost his teeth. A disservice to the traditions of Kakori, where Hindu and Muslim revolutionaries came together in one of the bravest acts of resistance against colonial rule. It's also an injustice to the dam pukht tradition that flourished under Nawab Asaf-ud-Daula, when giant cauldrons were prepared to feed laborers building the Bada Imam Bada. It is a disservice to the royal bread sheermal, still served with the same nazakat in the gullies of Lucknow. An injustice for nihari, one of the oldest surviving slow-cooked meat dishes of India, once eaten alike by aristocrats, cavalry men, artisans and ordinary workers. In Awadh, food is poetry and hospitality is a moral virtue. Meals are like cultural performances, traditions passed down like heirlooms across generations. And by simply obliterating meat dishes, who exactly has the government singled out? Is this an act of othering Muslims? Because let me remind the government that in Awadh, meat delicacies are prepared with the same beauty and flavor in many Hindu households too. Among the Kayasts, many Dalit communities and even Saraswat Brahmin families. When over 60% of Indians identify as non-vegetarian, what signal is the government trying to send by systematically erasing non-vegetarian dishes from public memory or the archives of history? From festivals, rivers, streets and cities to now even in food, this communal distortion of a shared history, a shared culture, and what could still be a future of shared respect is deeply dangerous. The government has said this exclusion is not intentional and that such dishes could be added in the future if recommended. It argues that the idea is not to promote individual popular items but products that can economically benefit a larger population through packaging, sales, and promotion. But the government's move has economic ramifications for those left out. The government will reportedly provide subsidies of up to 25% for setting up new units, along with assistance in packaging, marketing, and branding. So is the government effectively saying that small cooks, eateries, and dhabas serving non-vegetarian food, many of them Muslim-owned, do not deserve access to these benefits? It is one thing to rate meat vendors or ban meat during Hindu festivals, but it is another to erase an entire culinary civilization and stain it with the colors of religion, using the machinery of the state to decide which histories deserve remembrance and which flavors deserve to disappear. And if in India that is Bharat, even our food must now pass the test of ideological purity, then what remains of the India whose greatest strength was always the many aromas rising together from the same kitchen? Tell us what you think in the comments, and do follow Peak TV's YouTube channel for more such long-form, slow storytelling and perspective in the future as well.